The ice storm caused by Mikkos Cassadine's weather machine isn't the only force of nature to hit Port Charles. Stella Henry, played by two-time Daytime Emmy winner Vernee Watson, recently turned on both the ice and the heat when she laid into Sean Butler on General Hospital. For the tour de force, Watson gave over Stella's encounter with the man who killed her nephew. Soap Hub bestows Performer of the Week honors for GH on Watson. Vernee Watson, Performer of the Week. We know that Sean Blakemore, has no trouble fessing up to situations he believes that he's caused. In fact, he went to jail after he confessed to shooting Hayden Barnes, Rebecca Buddick, even though he was innocent. Sean felt he had other sins for which to atone, so he had no problem letting Stella unleash her wrath on him when she came upon Sean having dinner with Jordan Ashford, Brianna Nicole Henry. Always the gentleman, Sean rose from his chair, greeted Stella, and began to speak further when Stella dismissed his efforts. "I'm not interested in your contrition," she snapped. "But I do have a few things to say to the man who killed my nephew." In her head, Stella, Vernee Watson, knows that Sean acted in self-defense, but that didn't prevent her from telling Sean how much pain she feels that her nephew, Tommy Ashford, is no longer alive and that TJ Ashford, Tosh Bello, grew up without a father. Sean suggested the two speak privately and Stella agreed to step away where their confrontation continued. Sean tried to gently find common ground with Stella, telling her that Thomas always spoke highly of her. "I don't need you to tell me about Thomas. I knew him down to the soles of his feet," Stella shouted. Next, Sean told Stella he'd stand there and take her abuse, but that only infuriated her more, reminding Stella of the pain Thomas' death caused the family. She blasted Sean that Thomas didn't live long enough to see his son grow up and become a doctor. Stella knows that Sean is TJ's biological dad, but she informed him that there's more to being a father than DNA. Stella raged that Sean should still be in jail, not for his attempt on Hayden's life but for killing Thomas. She blamed Sean for her nephew snapping once he learned that Sean had been intimate with Jordan. Speaking of Jordan, just then, she entered and tried to quell the situation. Stella reminded Jordan that while they've recently made their peace, that didn't mean she was going to give any forgiveness to the man who ended her nephew's life. After Sean, who said he'd do his best to stay out of Stella's way, left, Stella shared with Jordan her relief that she was finally able to confront the man who killed Thomas. Jordan asked Stella if it had made her feel any better. She admitted that it didn't, but she needed to do it. Stella is a woman who cannot remain silent, especially when her loved ones are affected. She put her anger towards Sean aside for the moment in order to ask Jordan why she isn't fighting for Curtis, Donald Turner. Watson has won 2 Daytime Emmys for playing on Stella. She might want to consider putting these scenes on next year's reel. It could be her hat trick. General Hospital, GH, airs weekdays on ABC. Check your local listings for airtimes. For more about what's coming up in Port Charles, check out all the latest that's been posted on GH Spoilers. Ad block test, why?